Roblox games have massively changed in the past years. There's no doubt about that. People are copying more than ever other people's game concepts. We're seeing cash grabs be born at an outstanding rate. Hell, most games on the platform are absolute and utter garbage. Roblox's current state right now is highly controversial, and more people are starting to hate the platform. Hell, some people are sure that the platform's doomed and bound to fail soon. However, the truth is, it's up to us, the community, to take Roblox out of the garbage pile it's slowly sinking into. Today, more than ever, I encourage people to become developers because I truly do believe that it's never been a better time to become a developer. But there's something that I haven't really mentioned in my previous videos. There's a side to Roblox game development that I'm almost certain that you're not aware of, especially if you're starting. There's a dark truth to this which we call game development. I try to do my best to motivate people to keep pushing to become developers, but it's also my duty to warn you about the dangers of it. It won't always be sunshine and rainbows. Before we dive into the dark side of game development in Roblox, let me tell you a story. It's October 13th, 2023. Yeah, just a couple of months ago, my cousin that lives abroad had came to visit me. My cousin's a very good developer and he knows very experienced game developers as well, and has even spoken with some of the top developers, so I respect him a lot for that. He was also the one that got me into game development in the first place. We're just there talking about life, what our goals are, and at the time, I had just quit a video editing business that I had, so I was pretty much low on money and also was looking for something else to try out. Now you might just said, well, got a job. Well, let me tell you another thing. Jobs in third world countries for young inexperienced people pay pretty much nothing. You'd be real lucky if you get a job that pays you 500 USD per month for working full-time, or maybe even more. Now at the time, I was not really a developer. Well, more like I was away from being a developer. I had quit for some reason I won't really mention in this video. And so my cousin asks me, why'd you stop trying to make games? You'd be so good by now if you hadn't quit. And I responded, I don't know, man. It just didn't align with what I wanted at the time. My cousin then went on to offer me help in game development if I were to come back. I knew I was not gonna make money instantly with game development. I knew I had to provide real value to players and that the skill to do that would take time to perfect. But taking a look at my skills at the time, I had this base in coding that I had previously built specifically for making games that was just sitting there. So I said, yes, alright then, this is probably the best thing I can do right now. And so I come back to the journey of being a game developer. Now here's where the dark side will let itself be seen. After coming back to game development, I was spending 8 to 10 hours per day either researching or experimenting about stuff every single day. Some days my friends would want me to go out with them. I would have to say no. Some days I'd have to go to sleep at 3 or 4 a.m. Some days I was just too tired to work, but I still had to put in the work. Some days, some people had told me why was I doing what I was doing. In their heads, game development could not make any money, especially if you're doing it for a platform like Roblox. Oh, Roblox. People would question me. My parents would look at me almost a little weird. Why is he always on his computer? They would ask. Why is he going to sleep so late? Is he okay? My health deteriorated a little bit. I was not depressed. I was motivated. I was really not depressed, but my health deteriorated anyways. And for those of you who didn't know, I'm an athlete, so my athletic performance went to shit. Competitions were harder and harder to win. I had to stop training. After all, I had to direct most of my time and energy to game development, right? My grades in school would get worse as well as I progressively increased the amount of time and energy dedicated to game development. This is what most people don't really talk about when they're talking about making games. At first, I believed that the reason I had all these problems was because I was just doing too much. University already takes a lot of time and energy from you. Those of you who are in university would know, or in college. Combine that with an athletic career and you pretty much don't have time or energy for much else. But the truth is, there are people that have been in the same situation as me and still have been able to push through. And here's what I want you to take away from this. Game development is both a passion thing and a business thing, and you must be aware of both of them. What do I mean by this? It's awesome to be passionate about game development because it gives you 10 times more motivation to learn and take action. And honestly, if you weren't passionate, I don't think you or anyone would really go through the struggle unless they were super gifted. And this is something that I see in a lot of people that are trying to make games nowadays. They're passionate, which is incredible. It's great, really. However, coming from someone who's also expecting to earn money from this, I can tell you with 100% certainty that if you don't take this seriously, if you don't take this as a business, as a job, you're 10 times more likely to either quit or just fail. The people at the top of the platform have great leverage in comparison to us who are at the bottom. They not only have greater networks, they also have a lot more money. And this is a business lesson that is pretty obvious and you learn as soon as you start a business. With money, you can buy time and energy. What do I mean by this? They can and will pay other people so they don't have to put the work themselves. This is not bad, this is just how it works. It's the most intelligent move. Does it mean that the devs at the top are bad or evil for this? No, hell no. I'm not trying to shit on any top developers. Some of them even came from the bottom. A lot of them are great inspiration for me. You can't be mad at them for playing the game right. What I want you to take away from this is that at the level these people are playing at, paying other people to do better work, having more experience than us on making games, being able to collaborate with other top developers, having a pre-existing community or at the very least an audience they can market their games to. If you do not take this seriously, you will not get to their level. You cannot compete against them because the only advantage that you have when compared to them is nothing. Now you might be more intelligent, okay, that's great. You might be more creative, okay, that's great. But if you're in the lower levels of game development, that doesn't really matter as much when you're there. You don't necessarily know how to translate that into your skill, which is why I made it a point to progress as much as possible, as fast as possible at all costs, sacrificing going out with friends, sacrificing going out with family, sacrificing my athletic performance, sacrificing my sleep, sacrificing my overall health. Restless nights will await you if you take this path. People questioning you, not understanding you, and possibly trying to bully you could await you when you start this path. Frustration awaits you when you start this journey. Confusion will await you. Even fear might await you. Pain will await you. But why am I saying all this in this video? Am I trying to scare you? No, actually quite the opposite. This video was made with two goals in mind. One, I want to make it clear to any person that wants to start game development that what they might go through is not gonna be sunshine and rainbows. That if they really want to make it, they'll have to really commit to the journey and maybe even put their souls into their work. And number two, I want other people that might have gone through something similar to something that I have to know that they're not alone in this. You're not the only one going through that. I'm sure a lot of developers might just be going through a tough time, but since they don't see anyone talking about it, they just assume that the problem's specifically tailored for them, when it's really not the case. You're most likely to go through a tough time when you start this. And this is why I want to do my best to motivate and push people that want to be developers to keep pushing, because I know how hard it can be at times to do the work when your brain is telling you to go to sleep, to just go out with your friends tonight, to just chill and watch that anime, that series, to just play some more video games. I know how hard it can be because I've been there and I still am there to some degree. And to anyone watching this that might be going through a tough time, all I want to say is have hope, man. Hope that one day it'll all make sense, and I'm sure you'll make it at some point if you do. That's all I have for today. Be safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.